Put down your pencils and get your controllers ready. It is time for Finals Week, the PIEA 2021 State Championships.
They say that good things come to those who wait.
Let's see what he's going to do here. What a shot!
That patience is a virtue.
They need to make something happen here. This is it.
But what if you play with a reckless abandonment?
Wow, what a play! I cannot believe that they pulled that off.
Rely on impulse to guide your decisions.
Oh my, did you see that?
What a play. They're on another level right now.
Is preparation more important than instinct?
That's just how they drew it up.
That is pure skill right there.
The wait is over. The community is watching. The PIEA Rocket League Finals start now.
And you're getting a beautiful look of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as we get ready to look at the beautiful game of Rocket League here as part of the 2021 PIEA State Championships. My name is Leagy. Join with me this wonderful afternoon is none other than Kendo. And Kendo, we have got a lot of fantastic games of Rocket League on the docket for us here this afternoon.
Oh my goodness, weeks have gone by, months even, Sleegy, and we are down to the final four. The four best teams in Pennsylvania Interscholastic Esports of the Rocket League variety are going to be going up against each other today, and I could not be more excited.
Nah, me neither. But let's take a look at how this format is breaking up for us here so we can see exactly what's going on. As 16 teams in the regular season, all 16 did end up advancing into the playoffs last week. We saw that round of 16, the quarterfinals on stream, and all of that has led to today, where we will cover both semifinals and the finals. It's all best of 7. It's all single elimination. And that best of 7, Kendo, it gives teams some ability to make up for any mistakes, but that single elimination means if you make too many, you don't have a whole lot of room to back out of it.
100%. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights brought to you by Pennsylvania College of Technology. These are from last week, my friend. The quarterfinals, and all of the teams that are here today that we will get to see made a statement. Interesting of note, of course, Penn Cambria. They fielded 2 teams, and they will have 2 teams in this semifinal. But also, you look at some of the teams that they went up against. Thomas Jefferson, also another school that fielded 2 teams. LaSalle College High, one of the number 1 seeds going into this, being upset by the other Penn Cambria squad. It was an amazing event, and now it culminates into one last day. 3 total matchups on the docket. My goodness, have I told you I'm excited yet, Sliggy?
Yeah, I am right there with you. The excitement is palpable for these finals, but you talk about how these teams have had to go through. I mean, we saw that, right? 16 teams in the regular season. Now we're down to only 4. I mean, the road that these teams have had to travel to just get to this point is absolutely phenomenal.
1000%. And we are going to look at the road ahead, brought to you by Sheets. That is our bracket. Penn Cambria High School, team number 2, undefeated on the season, are going to be going up against the Conrad Weiser Wings. That is your first matchup. Penn Cambria, team number 1, going up against what was a really good-looking North Catholic High School in the lower end of the bracket. That'll be the latter portion of these first 2 matchups. And Sleegy, I'm really looking forward to this because, to be honest, all of our questions are going to be answered.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be able to figure out what happens, but we also have to see who comes out on top. And if you were tuned in last week, I made a prediction, and I am sticking with it. I think Penn Cambria is going to still be the team to come out on top at the end of everything here today. And while there are 2 Penn Cambria teams, I do think that it is going to be the second team that comes out, and that's going to be my HyperX prediction. But Kendo, I think you might have a little bit of a different idea.
I mean, I tell you what, one of the things, I'm glad you're not going with that 50-50 shot. I know last week you were talking to how you were going to sit all-encompassing Pin Cambria. I'm glad we're going with a little more focused answer. I still have North Catholic. I think the Trojans are going to put in some work today, and they look stellar in that last matchup of the quarterfinal rounds, Leaguey. I don't know if any of these teams are going to match up the firepower that we saw from the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot, but, you know, with that, there's a lot that these teams are playing for. You got $1,400 going to first place, $600 for second place, but then, you know, on top of that, you've got HyperX peripherals, ViewSonic gaming monitors. I mean, there is a lot on the line here. So even to get into the finals is going to be a big goal, but you know that every team here is going to be gunning with everything that they have to try and grab that first place finish.
1000%, my friend. But another message from one of our friends over at Sector 6. Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the PIEA. PIEA members can receive special offers by logging onto that URL you see on the side. Go to sector6apparel.com. Get started customizing your official championship jersey or any other of their various apparel items. Again, it's sector6apparel.com. And Sleeky, I'm wearing one right now. There's a group I tend to work with that happens to use Sector 6. Well, some of the most comfortable jerseys. They have other things. The hoodies are spectacular. Sector 6 is an amazing partner for PIEA.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looks like we don't have to wait any longer to get into our first semifinal of the day here, Kendo. It is going to be semifinal number 1 between Pin Cambria in blue and Conrad Weiser in orange. Winner moves on to the grand finals here, but they've got to get past the best of 7 if they're going to have any hope, and it's going to be a good one because both of these teams, if they perform anything like they did last week, Kendo, this is going to set up to be a phenomenal game.
And of course, I still have my reservations about this Pin Cambria squad. When you go undefeated throughout a season, yes, you are riding a high every single game that you're able to pull off another win. But there can be that Glass Joe syndrome the moment you take a loss. Will Conrad Weiser be the first one to crest through the threshold? I tell you what, it's not going to start out well. Linty Hydra on the board first.
Yeah, Linty Hydra doing a great job of getting this cut over on the left side. Gets an excellent touch. It's got just enough power to push past the defense, but with just enough power minimalized as well to slide underneath the bar, and that's going to be Pin Cambria getting on the board first here.
They're looking good thus far. 1 minute into game number 1, and Pin Cambria, they can't stop. They won't stop. The Wings have their work cut out for them, though, Sleegy. I'm going to be perfectly honest. This was a team that played very well in their division, the Pin division, 6-1, 12-3 in the regular season. They look very solid against Thomas Jefferson, too. And right now, the defense looking steadfast in the amongst major pressure from Pin Cambria until that moment. FaZe Brett sees the ball through.
Yeah, a bit of a caster curse actually coming through. You talk about the defense, but then FaZe Brent able to just thread the needle to the right of one, the left of another, and all of a sudden, Pin Cambria going to be doubling their lead here, have a 2-0 open in game number 1. And for the time being, we really haven't seen too much come out of this Conrad Weiser team, as that one coming close, not quite able to work its way through. It's going to be Lit Savage getting a good 50 downfield. This one out of the corner. It's Conrad Weiser trying to get their work downfield, but Funky Fish takes a shot just wide off the post. Follow-up going to be into a wide open net as Linty Hydra secures his brace.
I honestly thought that was a Funky Fish pass. The dish from the fish would have been beautiful. Linty Hydra decides to go for boost and still has the opportunity. So great patience by Pin Cambria. They look strong a minute and 50 in.
Well, they're going to have to keep it up, though. Best of sevens do allow a lot of time for teams to be able to come back. As Conrad Weiser, I mean, with 3 minutes in game one, still has a lot of opportunity to come back on their own. For the time being, Linty Hydra. A bit of a popper in the air as Klebuth was trying to get up on top. Another shot going just wide. It's the follow through here, still in a deadly position. Klebuth trying to clear the zone, but Linty Hydra going to be securing his hat trick and pin Cambria off to a quick 4-0 lead.
At this point, you were starting to see the Wings set into a panic. A weak clear out is immediately pushed on by Penn Cambria, and unless Conrad Weiser can get their bearings with them yet again, we're going to see more of the same. However, Kabuff will come through. Kabam!
Yeah, Klebuff doing a great job of following this one up right out of the corner. Bit of a double commit on that save attempt from Penn Cambria, and unfortunately for them, neither are able to find contact with the ball. So Conrad Weiser, about 6 seconds before the second half, able to get one back, but they still have a mountain to climb if they're going to equalize in this game. As Klebuff again into the corner. Lit Savage was looking for the quick angle. Follow up there is going to be on target. Ooh. And Piggy going to cut that lead in half.
What happened here? I've been on the phone with my lawyer. Apparently, I hit someone's copyright button on the tail end of that last call. Right now, Conrad Weiser turning things around, and a lot of momentum going into this second half of the game. They had the last 2 goals. Maybe another one as Lit Savage will take this ball off of the kickoff. High lofted touch by Klebuff, and that is a Piggy goal!
3 straight goals in a row for Conrad Weiser, as all of a sudden we have seen a massive resurgence from them in this game. 3 minutes to go, they needed 3 goals. Now 2:11 to go, and they're only 1 behind. Penn Cambria falling apart at the seams here in game number 1. I mean, they were in control of a massive lead, and now all of a sudden it's evaporated away from them. They have to try and get something moving back down on the other end of the field. Savage was trying to send that one through to the back four to try and clear it away for his team, as we'll see Klebuff now on the left side, able to get a pinch. It's out in front. Shot going to be through. And just like that, Lit Savage gets Conrad Weiser back level.
They told us it wasn't possible. Penn Cambria looked nigh undefeatable throughout the season, but in the past 2 minutes, they've gone from up 4-0 to a tie game, and something has to give. Both of these teams scoring in streaks. There's still a minute and a half to go, and at the moment, Conrad Weiser looks so good with control through the mid.
Yeah, you talk about momentum in situations like this, but Conrad Weiser, I mean, really in control of that momentum. 4 goals in a row, and there's still a little less than 90 seconds left to play. As Penn Cambria finally starting to get a little bit of possession again in this orange side of field. It'll be phased Brent trying to get this one on the other side. It'll be a bounce shot. Piggy able to clear this one down the right side. So it'll be a fall down 50. Klebuff trying to reach it in the air. Neither team touches. It's finally a clear coming from phased Brent. Klebuff just able to barely avoid that demolition. Final 60 seconds here, Kendo, and with this being a tie game, and especially with that 4-goal lead that Penn Cambria has given away, this has got to be scary for them.
Yeah, you're seeing both teams really shrink up under the moments, League, and I don't blame them. Play it safe. Make sure you do not beat yourself in this situation. And with great patience comes great circumstance. Funky Fish gonna put this one away.
Yeah, this is just another great touch off the backboard. Sets up Funky Fish perfectly, and you gotta love the awareness from FaZe to Brent to be able to recognize where the defense was, and more importantly, what they needed to do to try and get this one by. But off kickoff, it's almost a return from Conrad Weiser. Penn Cambria able to find the save, but they're not out of danger just yet. Piggy was looking for that redirect. It's a send downfield over top one of the defenders. That shot just wide. Follow-up going to be saved away by Piggy, but they've got to transition to offense right now. Piggy down the left sideline. 10 seconds to go. Not able to find the hit in the midfield. It'll be Klaviv again. Off the side wall. This one floating in the air. It's a big send downfield, a bump, and a clear. And unless PIEA can somehow give away enough possession for Conrad Weiser to get all the way downfield from their half, which it does not look like it's going to happen, PIEA able to survive somehow and take game number 1.
My goodness, someone needs to buy Linty Hydra an ice cream cone at this point, because that was a stellar game 1 performance out of them. 3 goals, 2 saves, 6 shots leading the team, but the save at the tail end, where that could have been a 5-5 equalizer, will go the furthest distance in my heart to how good a performance this was.
No, I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Conrad Weiser. I mean, it's not a lot of teams that can look at a 4-goal deficit and actually come back. It's unfortunate for them that they weren't quite able to finish things off. You know, you come back that much, you hope to be able to close out with a win, but still, you know, a solid game 1, a solid way to get themselves ready. And now going into game number 2, they really need to focus, I think, on building an initial lead. If they can do that, Conrad Weiser going to be setting themselves up in a pretty solid place to get this series back level.
That'll be exactly what they have to do, 1 goal at a time, but 1 stop at a time might be a better mentality. Funky Fish, sidewall control being the key there. Once again, the loose touches out of the Conrad Weiser zone are being picked up. They did a great job cleaning them up, but they've only shown us a 2-minute flash of that.
Yeah, and you know, just as I was talking about Conrad Weiser and the need for them to establish an early lead, it's PIEA that ends up doing it instead. So now in a similar position to last game, Conrad Weiser gonna have to try and come back from behind, though they might be able to do that. It was almost in. Face Brent, you can tell he was just looking to see what was gonna end up happening, but so close to an equalizing shot there from Conrad Weiser.
I feel like that's trust in your teammates, Sleegy, and there's a lot of that going on here for PIEA as they did sweep that one across at the most critical moment. Now, Blitz Savage controlled through the midfield, manages to almost get through too, but a couple of 50-50s are going to clear this one back down. Conrad Weiser still struggling to keep this ball in the offensive zone.
Well, this, a pop-up at midfield. It will fall down for Klaviv, who, I mean, gets a little bit of a touch towards net, but nothing too dangerous as Lit Savage unable to find that touch on the side wall. This one off the ceiling and down, pushed downfield by PIEA. It just sort of rolls back into the blue half. It'll be another send downfield. Funky Fish. Bit too much on that one. Great 50. Klaviv able to find a dunk on that 50 in the blue half, and it just rolls into the bottom right corner.
A series of fortunate events here for Klaviv, but in the right place to challenge and 50-50 when it was needed. So I know PIEA are going to wish they had that one back. Great job of maintaining pressure in the offensive zone. A solo effort by Klaviv. They're going to need a little more team effort once they get into the offensive side, though.
That they are. This is another knockdown coming through. A send over to the right side. Linty Hydra unable to follow it up, but he will be able to get this one off the side wall. Looking for the air dribble carry, and he's almost able to pull it off. Piggy able to get just enough of a touch to keep that one out of the zone. As Funky Fish trying to chase down that demo. It'll be phased Brent trying to vie for possession, but it ends up falling to Linty Hydra. Gets a good 50 that sends it over to the left side. As a bit of a team bump collision going through there to give Conrad Weiser an opportunity, but Klaviv unable to finish it off. Piggy gets up, but it's deflected by PIEA. And as we close in on the second half here, Kendo, it is still a 1-1 game.
Definitely a little rougher a start for PIEA, even here in the second game, than we were expected, Sleegy. The fact is, we've seen a lot of little team bumps like that. They're vulnerable right now. It's of the utmost importance, if you are Conrad Weiser, to keep the pedal to the metal. You want to push into the offensive zone, but weak touches like that, again, will be exploited time and time.
Well, this one falling back down. It'll be another send up from Linty Hydra. Let's Savage, bit of a giveaway shot. Just going to be just high off the bar. It's Piggy following this one up downfield. FaZe Britt can't find the clear, but it is able to be played away by Funky Fish. That one intercepted again on its way back. Linty Hydra with another bit of a pop-up there, but we're getting down to the final 90 seconds. So it's another play into the corner, trying to break out, but they still are trapped in this blue side of field. Claybuff out of the corner. This one's hitting it around midfield. It's a big clear downfield. It has the drop, and it has the goal to put Pin Cambria in the lead.
And it's one thing to work together as a team. It's another when you commit too much and too far forward, as Conrad Weiser just allows FaZe Brent the long clear ball into an open net back the other way. Granted, there were a couple misses on that, but Conrad Weiser yet again not taking advantage of what they have been given, as each goal passes through the Conrad Weiser net, and Cambria looking more and more about those team plays, about that chemistry we've seen all season from them. They're gonna sky one here off of the backboard. That may be a dangerous ball. Lit Savage is up. Do they have the double? It will be down and out. Not able to get the clear, though. Sustained pressure for Conrad Weiser.
And another take for FaZe Brent. Still over top Funky Fish towards the net. Still has that possession as it's towards the back wall. Piggy, the clear over to the left side. Linty Hydra. This is a knockdown. 30 seconds left to play here in game number 2, and Pink Cambria still holding on to that 1-goal lead. It's played over to the left side. Funky Fish looking for his angle, but he's beat underneath, and it'll be an opportunity for Claybuff. Back down the other way. 2 members of Pink Cambria back in defense. That's Funky Fish sending it up it again. The final 10 seconds. It's another clear down into the orange half. And Conrad Weiser not in a great spot to deal with it. Maybe one more opportunity if they can get it downfield. But that bump going to do it. Pin Cambria take their second in a row, and they are halfway to going to the grand finals.
Yeah, Pin Cambria, no doubt that they are going to do what they always do, Sleegy, and that is look extremely solid. I'm going to focus a little more on Conrad Weiser here in this in-between game. And the fact is, Conrad Weiser, when they are set in their rotation, have looked stellar defensively. The problem is they're still giving away the ball on these small, weak clears. Those have been utilized, and to be honest, almost half the offense of Pin Cambria have been off of those clears. I know we're going to go to game 3, and it's going to be up to Conrad Weiser to continue to push the ball into the offensive zone, but then find each other off passes, utilize the sidewall. Don't just fall into the vice of a 50-50, especially when it seems like they tend to be losing them.
Ooh, well, I mean, you talk about losing an opportunity. That was one right there that Pin Cambria lost right at the start of game. An open goal, but sent too high off the bar, and a pinch play from Claybuff. It looked like it might have had an opportunity to go on target. As this one, staying in the offensive zone for Conrad Weiser. It's Claybuff again into the corner. Hit off, but good angle, just not enough to get past that final defender. Be a double commit from Linty Hydra and team. As this one sent back down again from Conrad Weiser over to the left side. And you know, one of the things I've been noticing from Conrad Weiser is they don't really seem too focused on possession, which is unfortunate because that's exactly what Pin Cambria is doing, and it is working wonders for them.
Indeed, my friend, and it's just been a matter of contrast between these two teams. Pin Cambria, it seems like there's a team effort on all ends of the pitch. You've seen the trust of FaZe Bren at times, knowing that teammates are going to be there for defensive touches, and the trust of, okay, we're going to win this 50-50 and make sure position ourselves opportunistically. We also see passes like the one on that goal. Whereas for Conrad Weiser, yes, they're getting the presence. Yes, they're getting the push down. But so much of it is this solo play, this solo pressure. There's no lethality behind it because not everyone is in ball.
Ooh, that was another quick opportunity, almost able to come to fruition there. As this one falling down to the ground, it's still in this Conrad half. That's Kleba with control. Oh, but not able to execute on the shot. And he ends up shanking it to the left side. It's now a return from Cambria, but they forget the ball in their own half. It's Kleba again, back on top of it. Able to get a pinch out in front. That one sent down out of the corner again. Will be off the backboard. Another hit coming through on the right side. So now we see Piggy trying to figure out exactly where he needs to be on this rotation to make a play happen. But that's a giveaway to Cambria. Hit over top. The follow through, looking to try and set it up center. This one off the ceiling. No touch coming through there. Funky Fish able to get that one out of mid, but a dangerous spot that Conrad Weiser was closing down on being able to capitalize.
They're not done yet. They are continuing to keep this pressure in the offensive zone, but another one and done touch. Gonna see a 1v1 fast break. FaZe Brent pushing into the sidewall. Kleba, though, has looked very solid, especially on the wall defenses. This is gonna create an opportunity for Conrad Weiser quickly back the other way. The question is, will they sustain? Will they get shots on net? Or will it be squandered with a loose ball touch? It looks like the latter.
Yeah, and you know, so far throughout this series, one of the sort of themes that I've been noticing is that Cambria is just outpacing Conrad Weiser in a lot of these plays. It feels like Cambria a little bit better set up offensively. I mean, their solo plays and mechanics just seem to be better on point. And if Conrad Weiser is able to maybe start implementing more of a demo-heavy game, get some bumps in, just increase their physicality, it might open up opportunities for them to work back in, because with the 90-second mark here looming on the horizon, and you're already down by 2 in the series, you're down by 1 in the game, you have got to come up with some sort of game plan to work yourself back into the series, because otherwise, next thing you know, you're going to be facing series point.
Yeah, 100%. And right now they're facing an onslaught from the Cambria offense. It just seems like where the ball is, there is a Cambria player close behind trying to influence the next touch. It's something that we've seen lacking on the side of Conrad Weiser. And while they've done a great job of responding and the defense has been strong, the fact is, you don't score goals off of responding. Outside of monumental collapses, it's when you get into the offensive zone and you continue the touches that you actually get that. And what a pass by Kleba to see a Piggy goal.
Yeah, and you know, Piggy doing a great job of being able to finish that one off. But you got to give a little bit of the credit to that goal, unfortunately, to Cambria as well. Getting a bit caught up on their own end. They weren't able to quite clear things the way they were looking to. They end up giving away possession to Conrad Weiser in a really advantageous spot to score, though. Quick off the kickoff in the half here. This one out in front, able to just get cleared away at the final moment. It's a demo coming in. Conrad Weiser down to 2 men for just a moment. It's this one. Still over on the right side. FaZe to Brent, just trying to keep it out of Lit Savage's hand. It'll be out of the corner again. Lit Savage with a dribble all the way through. The defense of Cambria just left absolutely hopeless on the line. And Conrad Weiser take the lead with 6 seconds to go.
Linty Hydra and Funky Fish both there on the goal line. The sad thing was Funky Fish in retreat doesn't see Linty Hydra, who's working their way towards the offensive side to try to challenge the ball away from the net. They bump into each other, and Conrad Weiser have done what no other team has been able to do. They come up with a victory in Game 3 against Cambria.
Yeah, first game loss of the season. I mean, if that tells you anything, it tells you how consistent this PIEA team has been. But on the flip side, it tells you how dangerous this Conrad Weiser team can be. Finally able to get an excellent play down that right side, the dribble behind the defense. They take a game off. It's still a lead, though, for PIEA in the series. So Conrad Weiser going to need to try and pick things up. But if they were going to have a start, that was the way they needed to do it. Because otherwise, you're facing series point and trying to reverse sweep PIEA much, much harder, Kendo.
They are definitely doing a good job of containing PIEA when they do get in the offensive zone. And what they've done in their own offensive zone is they've started to attack when it seems like PIEA are taking their time trying to possess the ball. So both teams maybe needing to be a little bit faster, initiate a tiny bit sooner, and they could have their moment in the spotlight. It'll be Linty Hydra with a clear off the wall, has faced Brent, and a 1-2-3 goal for PIEA. First blood.
Yeah, PIEA not gonna let that one loss stand for too long. Linty Hydra, what a pickup off the pass from phased Brent, able to get them in the lead here. Just 40 seconds into game number 4. And now Conrad Weiser back in a familiar spot here, Kendo. They're down early on, and they're going to have to work to try and find a way back into this game.
Exactly, but they are no strangers to the challenge. A double commit here may see and afford PIEA an advantage back the other way. It's Funky Fish. They have him on the retreat. It's a floating ball in the box that Lit Savage will just get enough of to clear away. So breath of relief for Conrad Weiser. Now that they are in the offensive zone, what will they do with it? I like those little touches in effort of sustain, but unless there's someone there to keep the ball in the offensive zone, Sleegy, those touches are just turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, and sometimes you've got to work on keeping things close. You got to work on maintaining that possession. Sometimes long clears, just not the answer, though this one was coming out in front. The follow-up from Conrad Weiser, but that's going to be saved away again. It's the follow-up from FaZe Brent, not quite there. It'll be a hit off the side wall. Another one coming through, but it's wide to the left. That's FaZe Brent trying to clear it over into the corner, but it's a giveaway. And you talk about giving away possession. Well, that's exactly what PIEA did right there.
Yeah, PIEA, this is the roughest I've seen their rotation look all season, between the bump there by Piggy on the goal line and the weak clear off of the backboard. That allowed so much opportunity for Conrad Weiser. The Wings take flight, and they tie the game up with 3 minutes left. They're not going to be able to defend that, though. Great one-timer in the slot by Linty.
And that equalization doesn't last for long. Excellent pass, and even better follow-up from Linty Hydra. And now, a little under 3 minutes left to play. PIEA trying to set themselves up on series point, but Conrad Weiser, like a wasp that won't go away, is continuing to nag at the heels of this PIEA team with their shots coming close to face. Brent has to get a quick deflection to keep that one from going to the back of net.
We've seen a shift here in the first part of game number 4. Both of these teams have been kind of reserved. They've been taking their time, picking their spots. We're seeing a lot more straightforward offense in game number 4. The shot count over the last 2 games, it's been 12 for the entire game in game 2 and 3. 6 per side. We've already almost equalized that just for Conrad Weiser.
This, another clear over to the left side. Linty Hydra trying to pick it up. So it'll be again over to this left side. Fall down, Funky Fish. Able to get a touch, but doesn't get the bounce he was quite looking for. This one going to be high up in the air. It'll be a send down from FaZe Brent. Out of the corner again. That one not quite there, Funky Fish. It's a big send downfield. Linty Hydra looking to try and follow this one through. It's down again, another clear coming from Funky Fish, and that 90-second mark again on the board, Kendo. Conrad Weiser, they have been fighting their hearts out, but up to this point, they are still down by 1 in the series. They're down by 1 in the game, and if they cannot come back here, they're going to be facing that series point.
They almost have an Apollo Anton Ono syndrome. And if you don't understand the reference, I'll explain it just a little bit. An Olympian speed skater who waited usually till the last moment to beat the opponents that were on the ice with them. That is exactly what Conrad Weiser have been doing. I'd like to see them play from the front a little bit more often, though, because all this pressure eventually can crack a prospective team. And right now, it's Conrad Weiser not seeing as many opportunities because PenCambria aren't giving them.
Well, that's another knockdown. It'll be again off the side wall, final 30 seconds. That's a good clear downfield. And did I say clear? I meant to say shot.
And once again, we see them once they get in and they start sustaining the pressure, they are getting a little too aggressive, Sleegy, and that is equally punished for PenCambria. Now, 2-goal lead, 26 seconds. This one, I'm not going to say it's a foregone conclusion, but we are going to need a quick response from the Wings. Otherwise, we're going to see their chances clipped.
Well, that's again off the side wall. It's Savage, unable to find that touch. And it's the final 10 seconds, but they're in a bit of an awkward spot to try and get anything here. Maybe one opportunity, but that clear going to seal the deal here for game number 4. PenCambria come back after that last loss, and now they are 1 game away from securing their spot in the grand finals.
Fun fact, that is the first game that we have had where we do not have a 1-goal game. These two teams have played each other extremely close throughout this series. And now finally, PenCambria feeling more and more comfortable as they've gone on throughout the series. They want to show us that game 3, that shouldn't have happened. That was a fluke. And we're going to take this series in 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and find out, though, aren't we? I mean, we've seen how Conrad Weiser can try and turn things around in their favor. Well, if they're going to do that, they're going to have to do it right here and right now. It is series point. PenCambria again. Just 5 solid minutes of Rocket League from this final. And if Conrad Weiser wants to try and force their way in, they're going to have to win the next 3 games in a row.
3 games in a row. It looks like we do have a small issue going on, folks. So we are back here in the casting booth. Just want to say, thus far between these two teams, it has been mostly equal footing. But I feel for Conrad Weiser, if they want to take charge, they literally do have to take control of some of those loose touches that we're still seeing, both from their own side and then even at times in the midfield. They've allowed too many turnovers to find their way into the PenCambria zone. And once PenCambria has control, they tend to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, PenCambria, I mean, we've talked about it, right? They do such a good job at maintaining possession, and it's something that Conrad Weiser has been struggling with a little bit here because, I mean, they're attempting big clears downfield. They're attempting to try and create space, but I think the best way for them to do that is going to be kind of emulating PenCambria a little bit, you know, keep things close, go for infield passes, and really, I think more than anything else, try and up your physicality, take PenCambria off the field, because when you're on a 3-on-2, it becomes a lot easier to work with the space that you now have.
As almost as though they have you in their ears. We already see physicality coming through. FaZe Brent on the outlying play, immediately getting in with some bumps. We will see Conrad Weiser reach the middle field, though, but no additional touches once they get there. when the ball is in dangerous confines has been the case until right there. Klebuff will once again put first blood in. Oh my.
Yeah, this is Conrad Weiser doing a great job of being able to get off on the board first, especially in such a critical game. It is the one that decides whether or not Cambria, at least for now, will go into the finals. So, you know, Conrad Weiser, they've still got a mountain to climb, but that's the first step forward in the right direction. It's Klebuff able to keep that one out of the hands. He'll be again over to the side wall. Big pinch across field. It's Klebuff able to get a touch off that side wall. Gets a hit towards net, but a clear away will come through. Let's Savage on the redirect, but it'll be waiting into the hands of Cambria. Is that follow-up going to be just off the ceiling? Shot not going to be able to be on target. Klebuff was able to stay in front.
Thus, we do see yet again Cambria very sticky when they get into that offensive zone. The issue for them at the moment has been much better presence defensively from this Conrad Weiser squad. They are making sure that they are right there, challenging early and often. And it's one of the things I love about the mentality of players, the mentality of teams. Once they are on that match point, they're in the backs against the wall moments of time. And Conrad Weiser are looking so good in that confine. They're gonna miss three here, and it's a chance. Open net face, Brett will score. They get an equalizer goal. There's still 3 to go.
Yeah, look at this pass. I mean, almost able to be deflected away, but faced. Brent stays with it every step of the way, and even off the deflection coming from that Conrad Weiser defender, he's still able to send a smooth redirect into net. And now a tie game yet again. This one almost able to get out in front. Klebuff got in the way of it. Funky Fish getting bumped around, gets bumped into his teammate. But some misdirection happening for Conrad Weiser, getting their signals crossed. This one will be off the side wall, ceiling again. A send down the left side. We will see a boost pickup come through. Lindsay Hydra unable to find that touch. This one will be out of the corner as we see phased Brent. Bit of a miss coming through. Piggy sending it farther into the blue half, looking to get wrapped around, but no boost to work with. Oh, the shot opportunity was there. It's still there, but the clear finally comes from Cambria as they escape such a deadly spot there.
All the more reason, though, when you look at that play, the physicality from Conrad Weiser is slowly but surely changing the complexion of this game. That was easy pickings if somebody were there. The problem is they didn't have an extra person forward. Great physicality by Piggy. I want to see more of it.
Down that side wall again. Another hit down. Klebuff looking for that follow-up. It'll be another big clear down the sideline. We see this one still floating in the air. Linty Hydra back into Funky Fish. 50, but that one's might still be on target, just barely off the backboard. Phased Brent can't find that follow through. The final 90 seconds is already underway, and Lindsay Hydra and company trying to find the goal that would send them into the grand finals, but they've got to make sure they don't give away anything to Conrad Weiser at the last second.
Indeed, my friend, and it's been a matter of who is going to give up win, to be honest, between these two teams, and that is where the danger lies. I want to see better play. I want to see more careful play, but at the same time, you have to take chances and make mistakes in order to win in this game of Rocket League. Granted, that might just be a Miss Bristle reference.
Well, can they get on the school bus to the finals? They almost did with that shot. Phased Brent again off the corner. Clear in the midfield. Looking to try and set things up. That shot going to be deflected on its way through. It's the final 23 now. Another 50. Conrad Weiser comes out the winner as Funky Fish off the backboard. Able to get another one. It'll be a quick turn from Lit Savage, but a big clear coming from Phased Brent. Final 10 seconds. Shot towards net. Played away by Piggy. It'll be over to the right side. In Cambria with a shot over top. Another one, but it's not going to be through. The opportunity was there, but Cambria unable to capitalize.
And I guarantee that your Conrad Weiser players are sinking back in their seats, thanking their lucky stars, taking deep sighs of relief, knowing that that net was open and they were unable to convert. So one last lifeline here in overtime. Game number 5, PIEA will get the initial push into the offensive zone. There is Piggy and another team bump. We've seen more and more of those team bumps out of Cambria. It's just Conrad Weiser have not punished them for it.
Oh, opening coming through there, but Funky Fish able to stay out in front. Piggy finds no contact, but Clay able to keep this one closed. It'll be Lindsay Hydra carrying it over to the left side, looking for another follow-up off the side wall. Double commit from Conrad Weiser, but they are able to get it downfield. As this one out of the corner, dangerous spot, but Funky Fish able to find the touch over to the side wall. It's Claybook trying to send it back in mid again. This will be a big clear downfield, intercepted by Piggy. As this off the side wall, he's got boost to work with. Still out in front, double whip, triple whip. How many whips will we see? It's finally a clear down the other way. But I mean, opportunities galore there for Conrad Weiser to close out this game.
And each and every one of those opportunities missed is a hit to the morale, because they know, they've seen how open the net was. They will once again be grateful that they are still in this, but they are making more and more little mistakes. Lit Savage completely missing that ball in the midfield will afford Cambria offensive opportunity. It's going to be Lindsay Hydra down. Shot will be saved by Claybeff. Might be able to follow this. The shot far down, and it is going to be removed. Oh, the humanity.
So close again to being able to finish things out. Oh, it's a pass out in front, but a great touch on the defensive line. Able to keep that one out, but Conrad Weiser has got to be frustration incarnate right now with how many opportunities that they have had to finish this series, or this game off, I should say. I mean, the series still on the line as well if Cambria are able to find a goal. Lindsay Hydra getting a bit of a pinch over to that left side. It'll be picked. Oh, no, it's not picked up by Phased Brent. Big clear downfield. Miss from Funky Fish, but the bounce not in Conrad Weiser's favor, as it's another clear down the right side. Phased Brent looking to try and pick it up, but he doesn't have a lot of boost to work with. As now Clayba deep in behind, double commit, makes it easy peasy lemon squeezy for Clayba to keep Conrad Weiser alive in this series.
And I tell you, Conrad Weiser, they would have been squeezing lemons all night if they would have come up with the loss in this game number 5. They move into a game 6 and keep the series and the content rolling. But oh boy, Sleegy, were there some moments where they should have put it away, but didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Conrad Weiser, I mean, yeah, it's like a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, they are absolutely the team that should have won that game with how many options they had. But on the other hand, they are absolutely lucky to have been able to come out with that game alive with how many opportunities that they threw away. I mean, we saw 4 separate shots in that overtime that Conrad Weiser absolutely should have had. Finally able to finish it off, but they need to clean things up if they are going to push this series to a game 7.
I'm asking for it right now, Saligi. We haven't seen a series in the playoffs go all 7 games yet. I'd love it if this were the first one. Conrad Weiser looking to be the gatekeeper. We do not want an all-pen Cambria final. Granted, I mean, the other series is still yet to speak for itself. Conrad Weiser, work cut out for him, have looked and performed fairly well. Minimization of mistakes and capitalizing on your advantage are going to be key for both teams, and not cutting each other off. Cambria, again, they're in each other's business.
Well, this out of the corner, falling down, triple commit coming from Conrad Weiser. Funky Fish moving it down the left side. He misses one touch, as it is able to be cleared away as Conrad Weiser able to get set back in defense. As this one coming straight back down, but phased Brent a bit slow on that read, unable to quite get it where he wants it. The follow-up going to be clear across, and the first minute goes by with no goals on the board.
Once again, this battle turning into a neutral midfield ordeal. We see the teams, they're calculating, but they don't seem to be communicating, because at times there have been double commits, even triple commits, especially in opportune moments coming out of both teams. To be honest, there needs to be more punish. There needs to be better critical moments and follow through of them. We just haven't seen that sense of urgency on the goal line. Yes, we're seeing a great jockeying and a jostling of position in the midfield, but it's almost like both of these teams are playing not to lose rather than playing to win.
Well, I mean, it's kind of understandable at this point. Conrad Weiser, I mean, they're trying to push it to 7, but they still know that they're down. And meanwhile, PIEA Cambria had a couple of opportunities to finish this series off and have been unable to walk away with it. So it's a bit understandable that both teams a bit nervous right now, especially with everything, again, that's on the line. This series lending one of these teams into the grand finals. There's a bit of a miss there coming through. Funky Fish able to wrap around, plays it over to the right side. We see a pinch off the ceiling. It'll be all the way across into the corner again. That follow-up sidewall, follow through, but it's going to be wide, and an opportunity for PIEA Cambria to take the lead is left uncapitalized on.
But this is something that I want to see out of PIEA Cambria, and that's that team play that's not evident on the defense, as Piggy is able to score first blood for Conrad Weiser. But a PIEA Cambria squad that's finding each other in passes, they are progressing together. That is a team that has championship DNA. Right now, it needs to translate to better defense. Otherwise, you may see Conrad Weiser work this thing into a game 7.
Oh, it's very possible, but that one almost though through from Funky Fish. Again, another one off the post. Linty Hydra trying to stick with the ball right now, gets one over top, but great defense coming out of Conrad Weiser, keeping these shots from going all the way through. That's Funky Fish. Loses possession, it's still on this backboard. He gets a pinch, but it's too far across. Bumps one out of the way. It'll be Linty Hydra again out of the corner, playing it out in front. The kill out on the line, but Piggy able to pick this one up. And for now, the Conrad Weiser defense is holding strong.
For now, but it has been an absolute onslaught, and outside of a demolition and a clear, they have not seen much opportunity for breath. Boost Starve gone away as they do finally get through the midfield. However, the possession not there. 50-50 win. PIEA through one, but it'll miss out yet again. It's going to be PIEA Cambria into the offensive side with 45 to go. The utmost opportunity, and so PIEA almost drops that down. Big breakup by Funky Fish.
Well, now PIEA has got to make sure he keeps this one from falling back in mid. He will get a touch down the side wall, but it's not a whole lot. This one falling back down in his corner allows his teammate to take it. But another pass out in the midfield. Phased Brent grabs that boost, able to grab the ball as well. He's got the carry, but over top off the back wall is a great touch away from PIEA. As the final 10 seconds going to be taken down, it'll be PIEA down this left side. It'll be phased Brent down. Big clear coming through from PIEA Cambria. It'll be out of the corner. Linty Hydra can't find the touch. It'll be off the backboard again. A miss coming through, and that's going to be game 7 on the board.
Well, Conrad Weiser showing themselves to be an equal to the task champion. 3 shots total in this game number 6. All it took to score the single goal. And while we have seen some great jockeying for position, we've seen some amazing midfield play out of both of these teams. Now is the time, if you're either one of these teams, to really put the nail in the coffin. Game number 7, and if you are not seeing an offensive effort like we've seen flashes of for PIEA Cambria, like we've seen flashes of for Conrad Weiser, you're going to feel disappointed when this one ends, because again, it's all on the line. You need to stop playing to lose, or playing not to lose, and play to win. Take control and usher your opponent out of the tournament.
Well, for PIEA Cambria.
Oh my.
No. That is not the way that Conrad Weiser wanted to start this game. A bit of an own goal coming through as PIEA Cambria going to be getting on the board first in the opening 10 seconds. But just to finish my thought, Kendo, PIEA Cambria, this is their 3rd game in a row where they have been up on series point. They have got to be frustrated at their inability to finish one out. And now with the last game of the series underway, they are going to have to really pick up their execution and, more importantly, their consistency to be able to come away with this one.
They've definitely picked up the speed. I think that's evident from the past minute and a half, 2 minutes of play between the two games. Will that translate into advantage? I'm not sure yet. As you said, we need to see the consistency, and missed touches like that, where there's a double commit, are just going to allow Conrad Weiser more chance to push the ball through the threshold. This is going to be high and lofted away. In Cambria, they quell the wings, but they're starting to fly in the offensive zone. Going to be a play on and a long clear. Is that a take advantage? No, Lit Savage just able to corner that off of the crossbar. Funky Fish, though, equal to the task. It's a 2-0 advantage.
And what happened here on defense? Lit Savage, yeah, just a bit hesitant to charge forward. He doesn't quite know where the ball is going to land. And by the time that it registers in his brain what exactly is going on, the shot coming in from PIEA Cambria. And so now a 2-0 lead in game 7. Winner of this one, again, you're just tuning in, moves on to the grand finals. And this has been one incredible series. Conrad Weiser has won 2 games in a row. They would have their 3rd in a row if they could come away with this one to almost bring things back. But for the moment, they're going to have to bring it back by 2 goals, because PIEA Cambria has not given up in the slightest.
Of course, in this game, there's so much on the line, because you lose, you're not exactly in the prize pool. You win, you're talking about scholarships, you're talking about peripherals from ViewSonic and HyperX. I mean, there's so much on the line, so much pressure for both of these teams. And that's going to be in. Klebuff breaking through.
Yeah, and it's another good shot.
Oh my.
Able to get picked up off that little touch. I mean, Klebuff able to finish it off, but it's really Piggy that has the excellent touch over top to be able to set that one up in the first place. So 2:55 to go. It's only a 1-goal game, and it's the last game of the series, no matter what the outcome is. So we see another send downfield. Conrad Weiser, shot towards net, able to be cleared away by Funky Fish. As Lit Savage trying to get things under control. Miss on the side wall. It'll be another touch over to the left side. Side wall again. This one falling straight back down. A send towards net, but Piggy able to send one towards the other side, but the clear comes in. It takes 2 members of the PIEA Cambria defense, but they are able to get that one out of danger.
I think we're seeing what you can call a tale of 2 wings between Conrad Weiser being hesitant defensively, and then when they're in the offensive zone, they're the ones initiating contact. They're the ones taking charge. If you are Conrad Weiser, you want to make sure you're on the offensive end of things, because the moments of hesitation have been your undoing. Great save on the goal line by Klebuff. And now Conrad Weiser, 1:45 to try to equalize.
Oh, but a great clear coming over on this right side. Looking for the follow-up as Lindsay Hydra was trying to get a bit of a fake but the defense able to read it and respond appropriately. Lit Savage with a clear downfield as the final 90 seconds of regulation in this series begins to tick away. It's another shot towards net. The double commit, but it's just wide off the corner of the goal. Kleba with possession down this right sideline taken away. But we are still seeing a fierce battle. Only one goal separating these two teams right now.
The offensive pressure from Penn Cambria clamping down just as much as the time on the clock is a vice, slowly pressing in on Conrad Weiser. It's a weak touch. It's in the box space. Brett off on the shot. It's going to allow a chance. Kleba will bring this back through the midfield. Conrad Weiser, a double commit. They get the dish into the offensive zone, but they lose possession, and now they have to go the distance with 30 to go.
The final 30 seconds ticking away. There'll be a pickup from Funky Fish, but he gets taken out of the play. This one falling over to the right side. Lindsey Hydra able to pick it up, looking for a follow through, but he'll grab the boost instead. His teammate phase Brent, sending one towards net. The follow-up saved away. Can they turn? No, they decide not to go for it. The follow-up again gonna be saved off the line. Face Brent in the air, and that will do it. Unless there is an absolutely miraculous comeback in the final 5 seconds. Penn Cambria securing their ticket to the grand finals.
Gonna need 2 kickoff goals if you are Conrad Weiser. Maybe some trickeration, maybe a fake to get things going. We'll find out. It's a very positive touch, but it'll be broken up by Funky Fish. It is Penn Cambria high. Team number 2, the first team of 2 in your finals for the state championship.
Yeah, but it goes all the way to the line to figure out which of these two teams makes it in. I mean, it is game 7. And it is almost close to overtime. Finally able to get a little bit of some separation there from Penn Cambria at the end. But Conrad Weiser, you know, going up against the team that we had mentioned had not dropped a single game, able to take 3 off of this Penn Cambria 2 team. But in the end, not quite able to finish it out. Penn Cambria able to wake up a little bit more and get things rolling. And they're able to move on to the grand finals.
That was incredible. The one thing I will say is this going away. Penn Cambria, 14 shots in that last game. They were the ones with the seize the day mentality. They were the ones putting the ball on net. And to tell you how contrasting a difference that 14 shots was in the previous 2-3 games, all of those shot totals for both teams combined did not equal the 14 shots that Penn Cambria were able to put on in that single game. So 12 shots altogether in game 5, 8 shots altogether in game number 6, and a whopping 9 shots in game number 4. It's amazing to think about, Sleeky, but it was finally Penn Cambria showing us their final form, their true power. It puts them into the final.
Yeah, that it does. But we have more Rocket League on the docket for you all here today. We're going to cut to a short break, but when we come back, more Rocket League action as we head into the second semifinal, all a part of this 2021 PIEA State Championship.
tomorrow makers. They define success. They innovate their industries with technical know-how and vision, and stories only they can tell. Pennsylvania College of Technology is committing $1.25 million in existing scholarships and $250,000 in new scholarships for fall starts. This is your time. Share your story and kickstart your journey. Learn more and apply at pct.edu/2021.
The 2021 PIEA State Championships are brought to you by Pennsylvania College of Technology, where the future is made by hand. Learn more at pct.edu. Sheets. Order like a pro on the Sheets app. Sheets. Run and done. ViewSonic. For every way you game, we've got you covered. And by HyperX. We're all gamers. And welcome back, everybody, to the 2021 PIEA State Championship. So before we get into the next semifinal, let's take a listen from Bill Thomas. He's a member of the PIEA board on the importance of having a governing body for Scholastic Esports.
My name is Bill Thomas, and I'm on the board of directors of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Esports Association. We are one of the only regulatory governing bodies at the high school level solely focused on esports. It's vital for our high schools specifically and our school districts to have something that they can lean on that's credible, that has a regulated component to it as they start to look at programs, the esports programs in their schools. And the one thing that the PIEA brings to the table and fills a void is this governance that is kind of missing in the scholastic space in the high school competitions. So we felt it very necessary to bring to it very similar to what you see in traditional sports, where you have a state association that oversees eligibility, oversees academic standards, oversees safety, player safety, school safety, all of those elements. The other part of that a regulated governing body does is really provides a true pathway to a recognized and official state championship. And we know from talking to students across the Commonwealth, talking to teachers and administrators, that building that rivalry that currently exists in local communities between high schools is something that esports players want. They want to be able to compete for a banner they can hang in their gym. They want to compete for that state championship. And that's another reason why we believe the regulatory component is so important.
And as we come back, we are looking at the bracket brought to you by Sheets, as we see that PenCambria Team 2 has secured their slot in the grand finals after a 4-3 win over Conrad Weiser. But now that sets us up for PenCambria Team 1 facing off against North Catholic. Kendo, we have seen already a series go all the way to Game 7. What do we have on our hands here for this second semifinal?
I mean, I think this is going to be a stellar matchup. I do question how well PenCambria are going to be able to perform against North Catholic. These two teams did play week 1 of the regular season, and it was North Catholic with the 2-0 there. So PenCambria, number 1, their boogeyman has been this Trojan squad. That will be what they have to overcome here in order to have an all PenCambria final.
Yeah, but I mean, some of those highlights from that last series that we're seeing right now, I mean, you can tell the level of competition that is on display is just completely on another level. I mean, we saw it go back and forth. Conrad Weiser almost able to win 3 in a row to come back, but in the end, PenCambria able to close out that Game 7. And we've got a very real possibility of a PenCambria v PenCambria grand finals. But, going into this last semifinal before that, I mean, they've got a tough road ahead of them.
That 1000%, my friend. And of course, those highlights brought to you by the Pennsylvania College of Technology. I do want to say, though, a special thank you to our friends over at ViewSonic one more time, because we're happy to have our partners at ViewSonic on board for the PIEA Championship. In addition to these schools winning, potentially receiving ViewSonic monitors as well as some HyperX peripherals, we are blessed to be casting all of the action this week on the XG270Q Elites. These monitors are huge, 27-inch display, insane resolution, the 1440p, something I haven't been able to acquire before in my life outside of going to a LAN center. It's smooth, interrupted gameplay for even the fastest scenarios. So big thank you personally from me to ViewSonic. They are incredible. And again, we are in the semifinals and the finals. 2 more matches on the evening. It'll be semifinal number 2, the North Catholic Trojans against Penn Cambria number 1. It is best of 7, and I'm so excited for this matchup, Sleegy, because anytime that you have a potential underdog who hasn't been able to overcome a certain foe in a regular season, it always makes for great drama.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really does. And so now we got the second semifinal almost ready to go. And for North Catholic, you're fighting for a lot here. I mean, they're coming in, like you said a little bit earlier in the show, as a little bit of an underdog. So, and I think that it would be a little bit more interesting to see North Catholic versus Penn Cambria again in the grand finals. But I mean, I don't know. There's some sort of novel fun to seeing Penn Cambria versus Penn Cambria. I mean, we've seen how fantastic both of those teams has been. And I mean, imagine how awesome it would be for Team 2 to be able to take down Team 1 in the grand finals. I mean, that's sort of that's a storyline all in of itself.
Yeah, and I'm in complete agreement with you. It would be so amazing to see a school have that sort of dominance. My issue is, I don't think that's going to happen. And we saw with North Catholic in the quarterfinals, this is a team with a lot of pop-off potential. And the focus for me specifically is going to be on Jonathan, because Jonathan, the control in the air, we saw multiple double taps. That is a recipe for success, especially when it seems like if there's a great weakness for most of the teams in this bracket, it's been the lack of control defensively and the mistakes that come therein that have been punished. You do that to North Catholic and Jonathan, you're getting scored on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And one of the big trends that we saw in that last series that, you know, I'm kind of anticipating seeing again here is the control and sometimes the lack thereof. Because, I mean, we really saw some moments in that last series where the teams were just going for big booming clears down the field. They were looking for ways to try and create space, when I still think that one of the best ways for these teams at the level they're at is to try and be physical, bump them, demo them out of the way, and create your own space. Make them make a mistake. Don't wait for them to do so.
Well, folks, wait no longer. It's going to be Penn Cambria High School, team number 1, going up against the North Catholic High Trojans. And we are underway. Game number 1, best of 7 series between these two teams. And Jonathan, the one we mentioned early, is at it again 17 seconds in.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great pickup. The double touch off the backboard, and then Jonathan able to slot that one in. North Catholic able to get off to a quick lead here in game number 1 off of a really fantastic play to start things off. And now Mark II Messi looking to try and send this one off the backboard again. It'll be straight down. Bit of a bounce over to the right side. Glitch unable to clear the zone. The follow through going to be blocked at the last second. But North Catholic already to start things off has been spending a lot of time in that blue side of the field.
Oh, the muff on the touch. I thought that was going to be a shot for a goal. They had a hold down on the last person on the line, back post, and that would have been picture perfect execution in team play for a response from Penn Cambria. Instead, it's coming back the other way. They quell the offense defensively to North Catholic, and they've done a great job with the control they've been afforded thus far. Equally excellent job by Penn Cambria thus far to take care and not cause their own turnovers in the offensive zone.
Yeah, now, I mean, we're seeing another one come through here. A bit of a clear away. As Jonathan able to get one pop up. It'll be a bit of a bump over on the right side as well. So we see it bounce off the side wall. This one floating in the air. It'll be a bit of a miss. We'll see if the follow through can come in, but it's all the way over to the left side at 1 second. Able to combine to send it back into his own half where Mark II Messi finds the pickup. A side wall again off the corner. Stuck duck. No turn. It'll be Glitch trying to work his way down. As Desire Mental, I mean, a little bit of a deflection. That one gets sent towards net, but it's off. And for the time being, North Catholic holding on to that 1-goal lead.
We're up to 5 demos, though, for North Catholic in the first half of this match, and they are very into waking up and choosing violence at this point because they know Jonathan in the air with time is an excellent striker.
Yeah, and I mean, Jonathan getting his second on the board, able to knock it down into a defender where it deflects in, but still a beautiful goal for him. Doubles the lead for North Catholic and continues their strong start to this series. As a bit of a double commit on that defense, but a bit of a double commit on that attack. A miss coming in, and Penn Cambria, their opportunity to try and get things back level just goes to the wayside as Mark II Messi sends a banger into the left side.
And this is what I'm talking about when I say loose touches. Desire Mental, yes, you're trying to put a clear back to where nobody is, but if you do not have a follow-up plan, if it's not a purposeful touch, that is fodder. It is food for this North Catholic squad, and Messi, equal to the task, immediately jumps on that. Puts a banger on net. The Trojans, the horse doesn't even need to be rolled up. It's already been accepted in, and they are filing out in game number 1. Oh, no.
Bump coming through, but the clear over to left side. Able to keep that one from just falling into the back of net. Desire Mental still waiting in his own half to see what happens. Mark II Messi gets 1, 2 off the backboard. Bit of a pinch up off the ceiling down to the left side. As that one played across, Jonathan able to get this one all the way to the right side. It's Mark II Messi off the ceiling, and Mark II Messi. Hey, I mean, he's acting like Messi out there with plays like this. It's a 4-0 lead for North Catholic.
I feel like this is where I show my Americanism and say he bent that one like Beckham, but we won't do that. I already did it. Sorry. Anyway, 4-0, and the choice of violence thus far for North Catholic has really rung true. It's afforded them great room in the offensive zone. There they seem to be the ones in charge, getting shots on, disrupting the pace of play for Penn Cambria. And at this moment, Penn Cambria looks shell-shocked.
Yeah, that he does, and it's another send towards the back end, and finally, Penn Cambria able to break out of their shell and send one in towards the back of net. It's still a 3-goal deficit with a little over a minute to go, but at least one step off in the right direction.
A series of misses end up leading to a first goal for Penn Cambria. We'll see if they can take the momentum, because I'm not sure I can call this game as of yet, especially with a shot on like that. But at the very least, Penn Cambria can take solace in knowing that they are slowly but surely working themselves back into a good form here. Gonna be a ball broken up in the middle. Messi and Jonathan get into each other as a chance down the other way. Stuck duck shot scores, and they cut the lead to 2.
Yeah, cut the lead to 2, and it's just a great drop down from Glitch. Stuck duck able to put a lot of power off of that position, sends it in at 54 miles an hour. And so now 42 seconds left to go. Pincambria scored 2 unanswered. Can they do it twice more? We see them press over to the right side. Another hit coming off the left side wall. Bid straight down at 1 second with the pop-up. As it's sent down this left side. Final 30 seconds on the board as Jonathan getting taken out of the play. Desire Mental back with control. This is again downfield glitch to the sidewall. Back down again. This will be a backboard read, but read by North Catholic. They will transition downfield, and at this point, not enough time, especially almost with that goal. But either way, North Catholic able to build enough of the lead early on to withstand the Pincambria comeback, and they will take game number 1 here. But a great comeback indeed from Pincambria to at least cut that lead in half.
Yeah, I say solace. They can take a little bit more than solace. They have the foundations to really put some pressure on North Catholic in game number 2. They look more defensively on point, especially towards the tail end. Shots that North Catholic were putting on earlier were being blocked, and that is the most important thing. You need to remain steadfast in the face of that sort of adversity. That's exactly what Pincambria did in game number 1. They showed us something. North Catholic will have to remain on their toes. Otherwise, Pincambria is just as apt to jump on top.
Yeah, I mean, Pincambria, we saw what they could do when they start to build up momentum. It's just going to be whether or not they can do that near the start of the game instead of in the final minute and a half. Because if they had done that with maybe 3.5 minutes left on the board, Kendo, we very well could have seen them in a completely different game 1. But game 2 is now what we're looking at. And with a 1-0 lead in the series for North Catholic, I mean, on the flip side, they're going to be trying to extend that as far as they can. They don't want to have to play any more games, and they absolutely have to in this series.
And I don't blame them. You want to try to fluster to eliminate your opponent as quickly as you possibly can. And they're doing it very well with physicality. Jonathan looking for blood on the goal line. It's going to leave a ball open for at 1 second, but not enough time. As just enough counter disruption from Pincambria will keep the offense at bay. They are able to clear this one all the way out, but a loose ball, messy shot will just be wide again at 1 second follow. And they will not be able to convert. 3 shots early in the first 45 seconds. And maybe another. Jonathan! Shot scores! First blood for North Catholic.
Yeah, and I mean, second verse, same as the first. Jonathan with a double touch off the backboard to start off this game. Exactly, pretty much how he did it in game number 1. And so now, for the second time in a row, North Catholic going to be able to grab a lead. Now, the question is, can they do what they did in game number 1 and continue to extend on it? And they almost do there. Never mind, they absolutely do there.
Yeah, and just kill the ball in the box. That is great mentality to have. If you cannot finish it, put it off the bar. Make somebody commit, and a team effort will come through. Messi, the second goal on the board. North Catholic coming out strong. They want to face Pincambria 2 and upset the Giants.
Well, it's another play out of that corner. That's a miss from Glitch. Follow up over to the right side. One pop-up coming through here. Flip reset. Almost able to delay it enough to carry it in, but the defense from Pincambria is standing strong. So we're a minute and a half gone. It's still a 2-0 lead for North Catholic as Messi getting a couple touches over top, but not able to work his way by. It'll be another touch towards the backboard. This one falling down, getting a couple cuts across. It'll be another one coming up and around here, but Jonathan already in the air to try and meet it off. And Jonathan has been a big player on the field as far as making things happen so far in this game. Ooh, but you talk about that, you see Desire Mental getting a bit of a solo play of his own past the defense there. That'll get Pincambria back within 1.
I think it's safe to say both of these teams have very good playmakers working with them in Desire Mental not to be outdone, doing exactly what you need to do against a heavy control game that we've seen thus far out of Jonathan. Jonathan can't do flip resets or double tops off the backboard if you are controlling the ball more often than not. So more control just like that, that's the recipe for really countering everything that North Catholic have been able to do so far.
Yeah, and I mean, even with that, to give you an idea of how well North Catholic has been performing, even with all these counters from Pin Cambria, they're still in the lead by 1 right now, both in the series and in the game. As this one getting sent over to the corner, it'll be off the side wall again. Shot coming through, able to be saved away by Stuck Duck. It's a follow-up here coming from Mark II Messi. Loses possession, gets bumped a little bit, but is able to grab that boost. It'll be sidewall. Jonathan backboard, back in the midfield. Big clear downfield. And just like that, Glitch going to be hitting Pin Cambria back level.
Showing us there may be a glitchy in the system. Takes advantage of North Catholic. Overcommitted, had an extra person cherry picking down the field. The gentleman's game right there, not stealing the goal when it was very easy to. Pin Cambria equalizes where Deuce is wild with 2 minutes to go. And at the moment, we're at peak content.
Yeah, I mean, a tie game, only a 1 differential series. That's another big clear coming downfield. Stuck Duck gets one over top. It's a return the other way, but immediately intercepted by Desire Mental. This one coming back out to Glitch at midfield, gets it over top of 1. Looking to get it over top of 2. As that one played off the ceiling and down over to the left side. That's what you see Jonathan. Connection. Back on the blue half. Stuck Duck. Able to get a little bit before it's taken off of him. Might be a Rule 1. Didn't quite see it. So it is a Rule 1 on that right side. And Mark II Messi takes advantage, making it 3-2.
I'm going to be honest, that 1 second. I believe that was that 1 second who took them out of the play. And when you have Messi and Jonathan working together in the offensive zone, that you couldn't ask for anything more. If you are North Catholic, they will continue forward strong, and Messi off the kickoff will score another.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, we saw Pin Cambria get things level, and then all of a sudden North Catholic back in a 2-0 lead, and it is back-to-back goals. 1:02 left to play, still an opportunity for Pin Cambria, but man, talk about a recovery from North Catholic as they look to try and close out game number 2 and cement their way halfway through to the grand finals.
That's exactly what they're working on doing, but Stuck Duck keeping the ball on the bill. We'll have to force a very defensive touch at the tail.
That one. Back out in the midfield again. It's a big clear downfield. Desire Mental able to pop up over 1. This over to the left side. Stuck Duck. Backboard. It'll be Mark II Messi. Back the other way. So now we see at 1 second. Back over to the left side. A return. Almost. But North Catholic unable to finish it off. As either way, this series going, or not series, I should say. Well, the series is going to be going to a 2-0 lead for North Catholic. As they take game number 2, it's Mark II Messi to finish it off with a cherry on top at the end of regulation.
You know, Sleegy, we've seen some excellent play out of both of these teams. But at the moment, North Catholic just showing themselves to be a little more apt for control, a little more apt for those physical plays. And I think that's exactly where a majority of it's coming from. The physical plays. The physical plays have been the difference maker thus far. It's afforded North Catholic the extra room offensively, and Pin Cambria, more often than not, they have to have their head on a swivel. They have to have eyes in the back of their head even at times, because everyone on the pitch for this North Catholic squad seems to be looking for, if not a demo, at least a bump to disrupt the rotation.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was hoping that one of these teams would do, right? I mean, I feel like almost like a broken record at this point, but that's really what we needed to see come out of these two sides is big physical play and the ability to, like you said, disrupt those rotations. So far, North Catholic has done a pretty good job at that. We'll see if Jonathan, can he get a third double touch off the backboard to set things up? No, it's a backboard pass to Mark II Messi instead, but either way, the result is the same. North Catholic take the lead.
And I'm more and more impressed every time I see Jonathan facilitating a shot or a pass offensively. The control in the air and on the backboard has been something sweet to behold. And when you are scoring first in these games, the pressure just mounts even more than the series count, even more than the time on the clock. North Catholic, first 10 seconds of each and every game thus far, has just gone out, scored the goal. It's almost like Dikembe Mutombo wagging a finger like, you don't have this, we do.
Well, for Penn Cambria, the sweat is going to have to pick up here because they're starting to get into a bit of an awkward spot. Down by 2 in the series and now still down in this game. They haven't held a lead at all. They've been level. They've been able to draw level, but they have not been able to pull ahead so far throughout this series. And that is going to have to change as we almost see an excellent goal coming through at 1 second, unable to get the follow-up. Jonathan passing to midfield, and Mark II Messi on a dime.
Jonathan has it all, Slingy. I think that is a foregone conclusion at this point. You have the aerial control. That ball was a burner in the slot. That is the very definition of a one-timer. And Messi, what a follow through.
This backboard again, followed up. It's up and around. It's a good little touch, but cleared away by North Catholic. They will get more space down the field. Jonathan was looking for that big corner read, but unable to quite get the touch with enough power that he was looking for. That 1 second. Down off the ceiling. It'll be Mark II Messi in the air. Double commit from Penn Cambria. As this one sent back downfield. It'll be another hit over to the left side. Mark II Messi a drop into midfield. Jonathan trying to catch up to it. It's at 1 second that has to keep things rolling. It's another one. Rolling out into midfield. Jonathan with one, and he just lets it fall on in. Jonathan doing what he does best, completely outthinking the defense.
Saw that there was only one defender able to get a touch on that, and you could see halfway through, it looked like it was going to be pretty. It looked like it was going to be a double tap. Goes completely downward dog, as it were, into a stuck duck who was out of luck in the net.
Oh, drop down from Desire Middle. The follow-up is almost enough to make it 4-0. It's the follow-up again, going to be slightly off target. This one, Mark II Messi looking for the redirect, and if there hadn't been 2 members in net, that one might have just gone through. It's another pass over for Mark II Messi over the top of the head of at 1 second, but Mark II Messi able to get rotated back around quickly enough to defend against that as we cross over into the second half. That shot going to be high off the backboard, looking for the follow through now. Couple of misses. This one going to be high off the ceiling and play it over to the right side. 2:14 and counting, and Penn Cambria still find themselves in a precarious spot.
They need a goal. They are patiently working the offensive zone right now, Sleegy, and that's exactly what they need to do. But one more goal out of North Catholic could be the straw that breaks the hay bale at this point. They are borderline snowballing with all of this offensive pressure, and more of these touches coming from Penn Cambria are seeming to be delicious for the midfield pressure. Here's Jonathan, gonna pick one up, decides to go for the pass, and there's gonna be some solo play and a goal by Messi. Look at this patience.
Mark too messy. Look at that turn. That turn is so clean. Just gets the power slide precision on that to just be able to wrap around perfectly, and I mean perfectly, on that ball to set that up for the shot. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Great recovery here from Glitch. Keeps PenCambria a little bit in the hunt, but they still got a long way to go. That was an unfortunate little deflection from at 1 second.
I don't think the deflection really matters at that point. You had a 2v1, and at 1 second was very purely back to the net and the entire situation. So that one needed to be a goal, and PenCambria has a goal in Solace, but that's about all they have is Solace, and hoping for more stuck duck just off on the touch. You see these little flashes of brilliance from PenCambria, but Yanathon and company have been able to maintain pressure, disrupt the rotation, and have a majority of the chances on Messi now with the double tap. Oh my.
Oh my, indeed. And that play, I mean, look at that knockdown off the bar beautifully. And all of a sudden, North Catholic able to recapture their 4-goal lead as if the 3 wasn't enough. And now 50 seconds left to go. PenCambria, I mean, it really feels like that goal took the wind out of their sails, because now, unless they can get some sort of miraculous comeback, they're going to be facing series point. I mean, they're absolutely going to be facing series point at this point, Kendo. And they're faced with the task of reverse sweeping this side.
And as I said, the momentum has just continued to snowball more and more. The first 2 games seemed respectable compared to what we have seen in this display of Game 3, outside of a complete mental rehaul for this PenCambria #1 squad. They're going to be hoping that the boys from #2 can put a dent in this North Catholic offense and really the disruption that it entails.
Well, final 13, it's all but just formality at this point. North Catholic off of a 6-1. Is it going to be a Brazil? The setup is there. It's not going to quite come through. North Catholic going to be going up on series point heading into Game 4 after a 6-1 victory. And I mean, if I'm PenCambria, if I'm either PenCambria team right now, 1 or 2, I'm a little nervous, Kendo.
I mean, you have the coach actively reviewing these replays as they come in. Like, what do we got to do to stop these guys? Because this is desperation mode. You are in the YOLO zone, needing to reverse sweep a team that has outsped you, out-controlled you, they brutalized you, for lack of better terms. Game 1, it was out of this world, and by that I mean that PenCambria players were literally getting demoed out of this world.
Yeah, I mean, the physicality has been great, and look at the results that it comes up with. It's why I was so adamant in the pregame about how important physicality would be in these games. So now, going into series point, I mean, PenCambria, you've got to try and figure out some way to dig yourself out of this hole you found in, because otherwise you're going to be buried in it, because this is your last chance for the most part. Your backs are against the wall. You have got to make something change right now.
And I'm going to be honest, League, I think it's the slightest adjustment. We say all this, it almost sounds like we're beating them down, but that's essentially what North Catholic have been able to do. First hurdle, first 10 seconds. You want to make sure you control out. Don't let them score the first blood right off the bat, and it's going to take a defensive effort. At 1 second is there. It's going to call a cross, and they do manage to avoid it. Can they clear through the mid? They can. But Sleegy, they've been just moments away from brilliant chances of their own flying through. And if you can check your frustrations, if you can check all of the feelings and emotions, score first blood here, it'll go so far in eliminating that momentous advantage that North Catholic has.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, but if Penn Cambria are able to get on the board first here, it'll signify something that they have been unable to do all series long, and that's hold a lead. But unfortunately, it is North Catholic, again, in the opening minute, that is able to just slide one by. And again, it's Jonathan, big, powerful touch, gets help from his teammate on the physical bump. And just like that, the death timer gonna be on the board for Penn Cambria High School. They got 4 minutes and 1 second to find at least one, but they need 2 to push overtime.
Oh, Jonathan almost gets that down at 1 second. Not able to follow through, but yet again, it's North Catholic. They're using so much of their time to set up the next person. If they're not able to get a solo play, it almost always seems like someone is there within the facility to follow up the barely missed shot, and that has really been the difference. It's kept this Penn Cambria squad on their heels so much that it almost seems like Penn Cambria is living in their own goal at times.
Yeah, no. Now another little play coming through here. Mark II Messi over to the right side. It's this one. Sent down. Another hit over right now. So Mark II Messi still with control. Gets a touch towards net. And that's just going to float on through. What happened to the defense here?
They were there, Sleeky, but this is why it's so important to try to be facing forward as you defend. You had Glitch up on the wall, misses off of it with the flip, and that's where tragedy can strike. It's so much more important to try to set yourself up to clear the ball better, or at least control the ball out in your defensive touch. You had none of that in that specific instance. So goal for North Catholic, warranted.
Well, halfway point sitting on the line here. North Catholic sitting on the verge of a 4-0 victory. Starduck, or Stuck Duck, I should say, was unable to get that one around as Jonathan creating trouble on the back end. Messi takes a bit of a sharp angle there, unable to get turned to find that shot on target. It's now at 1 second. A send towards that again. Jonathan was on the backboard. Mark II Messi was in the air looking to try and get it forward. Another shot coming through from at 1 second. That one going to be too high off the back wall. And now we see control down the right side. Hit off the side wall. Another one that's straight back down. A miss coming through. Jonathan almost able to get it over top. Is this one falling back down? Mark II Messi. Left side out of the corner, but a great touch. Glitch with another one downfield, but he runs out of boost and he can't finish it off.
Oh, but this is a continued chance. It's high above the backboard. Double commit. Oh, no. It's Jonathan 1v1. Has a chance. The opportunity, the boost will be broken up. And for Penn Cambria, there's still a chance. 80 seconds to go on the clock. And you mentioned Starduck earlier. I'd like to see Stuck Duck maybe do a little something to facilitate for the team. Oh, because at the moment, the entire North Catholic squad is Space Goose.
I mean, right now, North Catholic, they're not running off of gas. They're running off of pure electricity. They are charged up and they are ready to go because it is 3 goals to none. Here in a series point, Penn Cambria hasn't been able to build a lead all series long. They haven't held not even one. And they continue that here because North Catholic, I mean, is just unrelenting in the amount of pressure that they are putting on this Penn Cambria half. And with the final 45 seconds on the board, it is looking bleak for this Team 1 Penn Cambria side to be able to make any sort of comeback in this game or in this series.
Will be a ball skied high, as you said. Things do look bleak, but if they can get a goal here, perhaps And Cambria can mount a comeback. It's glitchy. Has a double tap, puts it down, and it's still not in. So close. And tragedy has been fallen. And Cambria, now it may as well be out of reach. 10 seconds to go. 3 goals and firm control for Jonathan, who will not hit the flip reset. Great defense on the tail end by Desire Mental. But your other team in the finals for the Pennsylvania State Championship will be the North Catholic High School Trojans.
And it looks like we've got an interesting final on our hands here, Ken, though. My team, my pick versus your pick are about to face off in the grand finals. And I'm not going to lie, with how well North Catholic was playing in this last one, I'm a bit nervous because they looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they looked very good. Cracked even, my friend. However, there is a slight advantage in that you had 2 Penn Cambria schools, and both of them are going to be facing up against this North Catholic. I imagine they're in close confines. They are with each other. They're rooting each other on right now because that's just how amazing the Interscholastic Esports is. You have the opportunity to support yourselves and each other at this level, and I'm hoping that they're able to be like, okay, this is what they're doing here. This is how we counter it. They're going to have at least 4 more games to try to put something in place that hinders what we have seen thus far from the Trojans. I feel good about my pick. I'm going to be perfectly honest, Sleeky. I feel pretty good.
I mean, after that performance, I don't blame you. I mean, North Catholic was just doing everything they needed to do absolutely right. But you got to give credit to Penn Cambria Team 1. I mean, they make it all the way to the semifinals, and they keep it pretty close throughout most of those games. I think it was games 2 and games 4 where it kind of got out of hand. But I mean, overall, a really solid side, just not quite able to finish things out. But I mean, now looking ahead to that grand finals with Penn Cambria facing off against this North Catholic side, I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out.
100%, my friend. And by the way, Sector 6, folks, it's the official apparel provider of the PIEA. Don't forget, PIE members can receive special offers through logging on to the URL that you see listed in that pop-out right there. You want to check everything out at sector6apparel.com. Start customizing your official championship jerseys today, or your school jerseys today, as well as any other apparel items. And I'm telling you, Sleeky, these guys are awesome. I'm wearing a jersey for an unnamed organization going on, but at Sector 6, I've felt the feel of the jerseys. The hoodies are magnificent. All of the apparel items that you can have branded any way you want are there and available to you. Check it out at sector6.com.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is setting up the grand finals coming up here in just a minute. We are going to take a short break, but when we come back, it's the finals of the 2021 PIEA State Championships between Penn Cambria and North Catholic. You're not going to want to miss it. The 2021 PIEA State Championships are brought to you by Pennsylvania College of Technology, where the future is made by hand. Learn more at pct.edu. Sheets. Order like a pro on the Sheets app. Sheets. Run and done.
ViewSonic Elite Gaming Monitors. Don't just play. Play to win.
And by HyperX. We're all gamers.
The 2021 PIEA State Championships are brought to you by Pennsylvania College of Technology, where the future is made by hand. Learn more at pct.edu. Sheets. Order like a pro on the Sheets app. Sheets. Run and done. And by
Usonic Elite Gaming Monitors. Don't just play, play to win.
And welcome back, everybody, to the 2021 PIEA State Championships. Before we get into the grand finals, let's take actually a quick listen to Coach Josh Young. He's the Learning System Administrator over at Penn College as he talks about the significance of esports alongside traditional areas of study.
I'm Joshua Young. I am the Learning System Administrator at Penn College. I've been here for over 20 years, and I am also the head coach of our esports program, which officially started in the spring of 2019. Pennsylvania College of Technology is an applied technology school, so we have some very unique opportunities that set us apart from other college and universities. We have gamers that are in welding to culinary arts, computer science to building and construction. Every single major that we have has a gamer, so it's just important for us to grow our program in that sense. I'm totally excited to see the competition. Yes, I will watch. I'm a fan of Overwatch. It's the only game that I can actually hop in and play with my players and not be an embarrassment. So I'm just gonna look and watch. And the biggest thing is I just want to see the enjoyment. I want to see the players enjoying what they're doing up there on the stage. I want to see the fans rooting for the teams, and just, continue to build this new sport into common life, basically.
And as we look ahead to this grand finals, you can see the bracket brought to you by Sheets of how we got here. North Catholic just got off a 4-0 victory over Penn Cambria, team number 1. But Penn Cambria is a name that you're going to be seeing in that grand finals as Penn Cambria team 2 able to get a 4-3 victory over Conrad, Weiser, and Kendo. This is setting up a battle of the ages as we take a look at a couple of those replays brought to you by the Pennsylvania College of Technology. I mean, both of these teams appear to be performing at their peak right now. What is this setting up for the grand finals?
I think it's setting up a challenge for Penn Cambria because while they have looked undefeatable all season, in their matchup against Conrad Weiser, they looked vulnerable for the first time. And in order for them to beat a North Catholic squad, which seems to be all about disruption and out-controlling their opponent, they are going to have to be the ones to take that game plan and flip it on its head. They need to be the ones disrupting. They need to be the ones in charge of ball control and keep the ball out off of the hood of Jonathan and Messi, because what they did with the possession, stellar, second to none.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. But I mean, this is also an interesting matchup because it's a little bit of a rivalry between me and you. Earlier, we had our HyperX predictions, and I had Penn Cambria, and I chose Team 2, and you had North Catholic. So we're setting up a bit of an interesting grand finals, not only for them, but for us. But I mean, for everybody watching, make your own internal HyperX predictions and see who will be coming away. I mean, again, there is a lot that these teams are playing for in terms of prizing. So, I mean, this is really setting up to be phenomenal end here, Kendo.
Yeah, and I get the feeling that this is going to go a long way. Just a reminder, folks, both of these teams are in the money. They are benefiting from being in this final too. 1,400 in scholarships as well as peripherals going to the winner, 600 going to the loser. So they're guaranteed no matter what to go away with something, which is a joyous thing to behold. They fought out all season, but who will have the right to call themselves Pennsylvania state champions of Rocket League? Well, Jonathan has an opinion on this, and it's going to be North Catholic with game number 1, First Blood.
Yeah, Jonathan doing what he has done so well up to this point, scoring in the opening seconds of a match. And no better time to do it as well as North Catholic getting off to a quick 1-0 lead here in game 1 of the grand finals. And we'll see this actually developing downfield. Jonathan able to just slide in a second, and just like that, we're not even 30 seconds in, and it's a 2-0 lead.
We have not seen the control necessary, and Jonathan already rearing what made the first series against Cambria 1 such a challenge, and that is constant control and taking advantage of missed touches. 2-goal lead this early. Wow, Sleegy. North Catholic, the Trojans once again on fire. Messi almost able to get the ground bench in. They desperately need to get that ball out, but they need to control it out. And Linty Hydra seems equal to the task.
Ooh, and this one still floating around in the corner at 1 second. Trying to find a way to clear it away, and the best way is for him to just let his teammate take it from him. Pop up again. Does it have the drop? No, it's off the backboard, but a couple of misses. And Jonathan able to secure his hat trick, and we're just over a minute into this game.
My goodness. And yeah, slight miss. Funky Fish not able to get there. Linty Hydra also there. Unable to warrant enough of a challenge on the ball. But my goodness. I'm loving the fact that North Catholic looking good. My prediction feels real nice right now, Sleegy. But I also don't want to see this game be an absolute onslaught. I want to see some content. I might find myself rooting a little bit for Cambria. No bias, though.
No bias. I mean, we want to see a game like that first series. I mean, go all the way to 7, right? I mean, we're here in the grand finals. It's been a long road for these teams to get here. We want to see them fight it out every inch of the way. But for the time being, North Catholic, I mean, they have found their stride and they are walking in it. I mean, it has been great play after great play from them as Jonathan with control, able to get a cut, also avoids the bump. But the defense able to wrap around for Cambria as they send it down the right side. There'll be a pinch off the side wall. Pop up here, looking for the follow, but played away by Jonathan. Linty Hydra's up in the air, but he gets cut off well early. And as we close in, I mean, the halfway point just on the horizon here at Kinda, we haven't seen too much attacking opportunities from Cambria thus far.
What I want to see and what I'm going to be watching is how do they facilitate the ball broken out. We already have answers on how things are going defensively for Cambria 2. At the moment, it's not good. They definitely need adjustment. They need to challenge the ball at some of those junctions, whether it be pass plays or early to disrupt some of the aerial play. But offensively, unless they sustain offensive pressure, you're going to have problems because if nothing else, North Catholic have shown us to be extremely consistent.
Ooh, that dropped down almost enough to just sneak its way through. There's Mark II Messi, the pop-up coming in here. It'll be out of the corner. Coming in again. This one popped up. Back wall, but no follow-through from Jonathan on that one. There's a big clear coming downfield from Cambria. It'll be towards the sidewall. This one coming back in front, but able to get intercepted again. It's played over now to the left side. Jonathan gets one, gets a musty flick in mid-air, and Jonathan, calm down, sir.
You know, it's times like this, Leaguey, the wise man taught me that it's better to just leave the play in silence and just let the masses observe excellence, because anything that I said would have brought that play down. Jonathan is on fire right now. We need a fire extinguisher on the pitch.
I mean, at this point, we need a fire brigade on the pitch. I mean, Jonathan is just absolutely screaming right now with how many goals that he has gotten. I mean, it is a 6-0 lead. This is game number 1. This is the grand finals. It's supposed to be a little closer than this.
You would think, my friend, but thus far, we have not seen that. It's going to be up to Pencambria to make adjustments, challenge a little bit sooner, and somebody stop this man. Oh my.
I mean, he just can't stop scoring. It's another great shot. And you see there Messi just bailing out of the way. He doesn't want to stop. Lest he's starting to get some of the rage that Jonathan has been pinned on Pencambria. But 7-0 in game number 1. If you had told me that this is how this game would start, Kendo, I would have laughed. I'd have been like, there's no way. But, I mean, Jonathan, 6 goals on 9 shots. I mean, he's on another level right now. Oh, at 1 second with the fake, and it just gets from bad to worse.
There's still 1 minute and 7 seconds, Sleeky. Like, this is a statement win. And I'm just assuming that there's not going to be a comeback by Pencambria. I could be corrected, and I would love to be corrected at this point. But Linty Hydra, Funky Fish, and your phased Brent, they all desperately need something, and it might come from this aerial play from phased Brent.
Yeah, I mean, finally able to break the deficit, but I mean, talk about being in a hole. I mean, this hole at 10, 20 feet in the ground at this point, there's no climbing out of it. I mean, look, as a commentator, you always want to try and keep the options open, right? You don't ever want to call a game, but this game 1 is over. It's over, okay? It's GG's. North Catholic is just making a statement right now as Jonathan. I mean, at this point, he's making it look so easy that he's probably yawning while making these shots.
I will go a step further, my friend. If there are any of those TikTokers out there on the side of the North Catholic Trojans, I mean, just saying, shoe-in meme, give the wee. As all the players from this Pencambria squad go flying by. Jonathan is putting on a clinic, and attendance is free for Pencambria members.
Oh, this one coming back out in the midfield. Mark II Messi. It was looking like he was trying to make it double digits. So we're finally going to get down into single-digit time. Final 10 seconds ticking away. It'll be Jonathan back for it. Looking to carry it over to the right side. It doesn't come through. That one going to be hit across. Mark II Messi. I mean, North Catholic just can't stop scoring. It doesn't matter what goal it's on. They just like to score goals.
But Pencambria will get a goal in solace here. The problem is, it was an own goal.
And that was an
Mercy.
Absolutely intentional own goal as well. So,
I mean,
game number 1, North Catholic with a what was that? Was it 9-2 victory? Alrighty, we got ourselves an interesting start to the grand finals here, Kendo. I will tell you what.
Yes, and at this point, if you're Pencambria, the first step is going to be, okay, we got to acknowledge it happened. Second step, we have to accept that it happened, because they're 2 very different things. Thirdly, you have to do something about it. And at this point, I would say throwing everything at them. The kitchen sink. Go with the demos. Go with the shots on. Find each other in pass plays. It's something that has been lacking in this Pencambria 2's repertoire that they normally do very well. They find each other in passing plays, and they communicate so well. We have not seen visual evidence of that until other than really the game 7, where they looked like a team unleashed. Unless we get game 7 Pencambria for the rest of this series, that was a statement win by North Catholic, and we might see more of the same.
I mean, we might indeed, as we're waiting to get everyone into this second lobby. But, I mean, talk about a statement victory to start things off for North Catholic. I mean, it's not every day that you see 9 goals get scored. It's also not every day that you see 8 goals get scored with there still being a minute left on the board. So an absolutely monumental first game, and we'll see if maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe Pincambria, just a little bit cold after they watched that semifinals, or if it's just a foretelling of more to come from North Catholic.
We will find out. First 15 seconds. Jonathan, neutral ball control, gets a little help from Messi into the corner, and it will be a first attempt quelled, but it didn't seem like there was much kill pressure behind it out of the midfield. A shot on, saved by Linty Hydra. I'm gonna add a limb and say this is a good start for Pincambria too.
Well, the fact that there hasn't been a goal in the opening 10 seconds is already better for Pincambria this game than last. So we see Mark to Messi. Trying to follow that one up. It'll be a cross net. Drop down coming through here. Pick up into Jonathan. Sits over to the left side. Jonathan was looking for the quick redirect. That shot going to be just off target. The follow-up, keeping it in the blue half. It's a bit of a double commit, but it is able to be sent downfield at 1 second. Doesn't find that touch. It's an opening, and it's going to be taken. Pincambria get on the board first.
Well, I'll be a double commit controlled out by FaZe Brent, and the star of that conversion, 100% that control by FaZe Brent in the offensive zone, facilitates to the midfield. Unselfish play. And Pincambria, they'll give it back. Jonathan.
Jonathan. That has been the name that we have been speaking all series long, and it's only one game in. Able to get a beautiful pickup. Sends it across net over to the right side. And now, tie series going on here, or tie game, I should say, going on here in this series. And North Catholic trying to get themselves back in this game after an early Pincambria goal that gave them the lead. It'll be a clear coming downfield. Straight down the left side. It's back into midfield. It'll be FaZe Brent. Up and off the ceiling, looking to try and follow it up, but that one not quite there. Ooh, pop-up coming through. It's a send towards net, and just like that, North Catholic able to grab the lead.
Making excellent play. Look like elementary. Jonathan beats 2 on the initial push. FaZe Brent, right place, right time as the third man, just unable to get there in the fraction of a difference that it was. So again, signs of hope from Pincambria, but Jonathan by no means letting off the gas.
Well, now the sidewall. Ooh, it was a shot towards net, but Pincambria not quite able to finish it off. That flip reset towards net. Oh, just saved by FaZe Brent at the last second. Linty Hydra trying to maintain control of this ball. We see a pass in midfield, almost able to work its way through, but great defense as Jonathan. Flip reset, looking for a double, but he can't quite finish it off. But the double touch, but it doesn't go through. How is that not in?
Maybe a little too much trickeration on that one. A few less flips, and by that I mean 2 instead of 17, might have been the perfect number for this North Catholic squad. They are comfortable right now, so forget anything I say. They are going to continue to do them, just North Catholic things. You can hashtag it.
Yeah. Well, we see another pop-up coming through. Linty Hydra in the air, but he can't finish that one off. So it's back into the corner again. See this one almost off the ceiling. It'll be a follow-up. That's not quite there. Follow-up again, but that one's wide. Funky Fish able to play it into the left side as it comes back out into midfield. Another big send down. And now backboard play again. It's another hit downfield. Funky Fish trying to be able to get this one picked up, but that's back in the mid. A great touch from North Catholic to keep it alive in the blue side, and it sets up a shot opportunity that Jonathan, who would have guessed, is able to put through for his second hat trick.
Well, throw the hats in the well, because if you decided to go buy another one, you know, that's your own fault at this point. I wouldn't buy a third, because I get the feeling that Jonathan is going to continue to make their name known in this series. It's really been the great wall of Jonathan. We've seen a lot of facilitation out of said person, and also what finish? The finesse has come in clutch in the moments where they need it. And at this point, if you're Cambria, I'm losing my mind for them, Sleeky. I'm racking my brain on how do you stop Jonathan, and I'm coming up with nothing.
I mean, other than just trying to demo him, but at this point, I imagine Jonathan would be avoiding those as definitely as he's been avoiding not missing. I mean, he's just been absolutely on fire, as this one is another clear down midfield, sent towards the back wall. Is that a double? No, it's not. Lindsay Hydra able to get this one down left side, and an opportunity still exists, though. Jonathan's touch squatches that flame of hope. And it will be North Catholic halfway through to taking a grand finals victory. Oh! I feel bad for Messi. I'm not going to lie. That was a nice carry.
That was a save.
I mean, it's on the line. It was going in. It was going in.
I'm not giving North Catholic anything right now. They have my vote. I still think they're going to win this entire thing. But right now, Cambria need a pick-me-up, and that was an incredible save on the goal line, Sleeky. Do not take that away from them in the latter portion. They did a much better job here in game number 2 of trying to equalize the pressure from North Catholic. The problem was it was all Jonathan all the time. 12 shots rather than 17 that we saw in the earlier game. Much better presence here, but it was all Linty Hydra. I'd like to see all of Cambria getting involved.
Yeah, I mean, I would as well. And I mean, they're going to have to, right? If they're going to stop the menace that is Jonathan from being able to just do the things that he has been doing to them up to this point. I mean, he's been an absolute monster out on the field, making every play that he needs to make happen. I mean, it has been time and time again that Jonathan has been right where he needs to be. And unless Cambria can stop that, and I think they really need to stop that this game, right? Yeah, it's only 2-0, but if you lose this one, you're facing series point, and I do not believe in a reverse sweep potential. Game 3 about to get underway, and North Catholic trying to continue what has been an absolutely phenomenal series from them so far.
I wouldn't care if your team consisted of First Killer, Pronovi, and Turbo Pulse. Get as many goats from as many generations of Rocket League as possible. You are not defeating this momentum that Jonathan has right now. I'm pretty sure Jonathan thinks they could take Mike Tyson on in a boxing match at the point that we're at, because it's larger than life, the momentum on the side of North Catholic. And here comes Messi. That's a flip reset. Tries for the musty, does not get it. And we're going to see a slow move out by Cambria. They do manage to get by 2. Does Linty Hydra have another one? Answer on this one early, no.
Well, this, another touch over to the left side now is Funky Fresh with the knockdown. Jonathan able to slightly pick that one up on the left side wall. This will be over again. Mark II Messi trying to pass into midfield, but that one not going to come in. So we will see a return back into the orange side. A big hit down the middle of field. Now dropped again, picked up. It's going to be a hit from Linty Hydra. Triple commit downfield. Filthy Ice coming in as a substitute for this game to see if he can help turn things around for Pin Cambria. Able to connect with Funky Fish on that one, and we're a minute and a half in, and I gotta say, it's looking a little bit better for Pin Cambria because we still haven't seen that opening North Catholic goal.
Yeah, it looks a little better. They're focusing their defensive rotations, and at this point, I mean, North Catholic, they could very easily adjust into demo mode the way we saw earlier, but they're just going to continue to hem the unguarded backboard. Messi, first blood.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about another great hit over top. Messi able to send it across. The switchback works perfectly. And North Catholic, for the third game in a row, is able to take a lead here. And for Pin Cambria, I mean, yeah, you still got a little bit of time to work with, but you got to work with it now because things are starting to get sticky.
They are, but you still have a chance if you're Pin Cambria. You just have to be extremely smart. You have to initiate a tiny bit sooner because Jonathan's already shown that this North Catholic squad not waiting to make the plays, and make the plays they will. Messi now, 2 goals.
And Messi, I mean, was a big part in the semifinals and has continued to be a big part through what has largely been the Jonathan show here in the grand finals. But both of them have been really combining together to open up so many offensive opportunities. As I don't know what quite to make of that kickoff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Sure. That was unexpected.
It might have been a fake, and I dropped the controller to wipe the sweat off my hands.
We don't want any water damage
at the same time. Exactly. The water damage on the controller, worst controller damage ever. Walmart warranties don't cover it. But we digress, my friend, as Linty Hydra will manage to get this into the offensive zone. Filthy Ice, Linty Hydra working well together in the offensive zone. The problem is the ball has not been there enough, and Funky Fish has gone stale with the defense. Jonathan will score a third. Oh,
I thought he almost messed it up here for a second because that first touch is not great, but that quick flick, a great recovery from a situation, especially when he heard Linty Hydra coming up behind him. And that is going to put North Catholic up by 3. And with 2 minutes left to go and no momentum to speak of for Pin Cambria, this is continuing to get up to be a more difficult and more difficult series for them to try and come back in.
More and more demoralizing as well, because for North Catholic, you've held this team to 3 total goals. You factor in the fact that on the 2 games that we've seen thus far, they only have 9 shots, and you scored 9 goals in the first game. Time is going to continue to count down, and for Pin Cambria, they need a miracle, a lot of momentum to go with it. Messi is on the back wall. They're looking for style points right now.
Funky Fresh, or Fish. I keep saying Funky Fresh. I mean, it's just a fun name to say. But so is Funky Fish, who was trying to get a fun play downfield. Find a demo on 1, Linty Hydra. Almost able to have that dribble. Oh, the fake, but he can't get it off the post. Linty Hydra, that was almost filthy. But instead, it goes into the corner where Filthy Ice was trying to pick it up. And Pin Cambria walk away with nothing.
And Ice is the filthy one. I do like the fact that Pin Cambria, you have multiple descriptives for every single player. Funky Fish, Filthy Ice, FaZe Brent, Linty Hydra. Yeah, that's just in. Messi with a hat trick.
I mean, Messi just living up to his name at this point, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, what a shot. Gets it all the way downfield. I mean, if he's going to continue to take just long shots like that, might want to rebrand to Ibrahimovic at this point, because good Lord. 20 seconds to go. North Catholic have a 4-0 lead over Pin Cambria. And that is not going to be going anywhere. It'll be North Catholic taking their 3rd game in a row and setting themselves up on series point, looking at a sweep. And for a Cambria team that until today had been completely undefeated, they are looking to go completely winless here in the grand finals.
Quite, well, okay, in the words of an old wise man, how the turns have tabled.
They
won't go there anymore. Yeah, they have tabled indeed, my friend. Like
they have turned, they have tabled, they've done pretty much everything. I mean, Cambria over there flipping their table in frustration right now at how this series has unfolded, and potentially only one game left. North Catholic on the verge of a sweep here in the grand finals, and I'm gonna be honest, Kendo, I don't see any way to slow them down at this point.
Yeah, in fact, I don't understand. I don't know if anything Cambria does right now can change what seems to be an inevitable outcome. That being said, I'm going to continue to root, and no bias, of course, but I want some content. I want a Cambria win here. I want more than just 4 games, and yes, it's a testament. It's a testament of North Catholic's dominance. But come on!
Well, game number 4, it is series point on the line here for North Catholic. Cambria have got to win the next 4 in a row. They want to win this grand finals, but it's not going to be a great start. Mark II Messi, not even 15 seconds into this game, is going to be getting North Catholic on the board first.
You're seeing more initiation out of Cambria, but it's immediately put to wall. And I've always said you can utilize the wall as an extra man, an extra offensive being almost to facilitate more offense. And that is something North Catholic have done an excellent job today and really all season, utilizing the wall, utilizing the backboard to see their passes through. It will be a Linty Hydra shot that is immediately fielded away. We're seeing quick pokes, but there's no sustain behind the offense of Cambria. That needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, that it does. If they want to try and work their way back into this series, Jonathan, another hit downfield. That one just floating towards net. Might be able to get a follow-up, but it's blocked again by Linty Hydra. That 1 second, looking for a fake. He gets bumped out, but then everybody from Cambria panicking on the line there, and they send it in themselves.
Yeah, really good stuff for everyone but Cambria at this point. I think if you had to culminate the way that this series has gone in one play, Slinky, that might be the play right there. You've seen good play out of North Catholic, and frustration slowly begin to set in up until the point that Cambria finds themselves scoring in their own net.
Well, minute and a half gone. It's that 2-goal lead, and the Daft Timer already well and truly begun for this Cambria side. So we will see them trying to break out of their half right now. It's at 1 second. Looking to try and push it back into midfield. He messes up the pass a little bit. Might give an opening here for Cambria for a response. That one off the ceiling. Will be picked up on the backboard. Linty Hydra looking for a redirect, but that's intercepted in midair. As a miss comes through, it'll be Jonathan able to beat everyone to that play. Gets it over to the right side. And is now looking for a potential another double touch, but he sends it too far right as he went too far left. Funky Fish towards that back wall, miss out of the corner. The follow-up going to be across field, and Cambria, for this situation, think they're playing a little too passive, Kendo. They have got to try and get some movement going down the field.
And to be honest, that's exactly what you need to do against a team that is quote-unquote better than you. If you feel like you're at a disadvantage mechanically or in any sort of skill, you take opportunities away from your opponent by making sure that you're the one with control of the ball. And that has really been the receding fact for Cambria. They have been more and more passive, and it's allowed more and more attempts for Jonathan and Messi and the entire North Catholic offense. In fact, I don't know that we've said North Catholic defense once on this specific series until I just mentioned it there.
I mean, well, where was the North Catholic defense on that play? That was an interesting turn. I'm not sure what was quite going through Jonathan's head there. Funky Fish had him beat by about a quarter mile. And that turn in puts him out of position. If he had stayed back post, it's an easy save. And so Cambria, off the back of a defensive mistake from North Catholic, able to grab one. They still need at least one more to find an equalizer. That's a great 50 down on the other side of the field. Bit of a team collision on that one. As it'll be a follow-up again, backboard. Jonathan can't get through. It'll be here. Into the corner again, straight down, looking for the redirect. That 1 second. Able to play it over top, looking for one more. It's sidewall. Back down the other way. It's a pinch from Martu Messi. Jonathan's up and was looking for it, but I mean, he's just there as a cheerleader. Is Martu Messi able to send it in?
And that one, Boomer off of the side corner. Gets a very fortunate bounce. All three members of the defense there and present, but yet another Boomer sent skyward. Top cheese for the North Catholic Trojans. Timer's down to 1 minute remaining, and Lenti Hydra not done yet. We'll get this ball into the corner. That might roll in until at 1 second. Just gets a nose on it.
And Funky Fish gets a double demo there as well, but Cambria unable to do anything with it as the ball had been cleared right after it happened. So North Catholic, almost a really dangerous spot, having 2/3 of their team taken out, and that pinch almost goes in. But Cambria, man, they just cannot catch a break right now. That 1 second, he loses possession. It's a transition downfield. Martu Messi sending it towards his own net. Lenti Hydra able to finish it off. And Cambria not out of the woodwork just yet, but they can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But we're starting to see little inconsistencies, little mispositioning, and it's all from the fact that Cambria are now putting their lives on the line. They are putting more pressure, more speed into what we're doing. Why didn't we see this earlier in the match? Because there is a golden opportunity with 20 seconds to go. And Funky Fish with the control. Maybe a funky finish for Cambria? Who knows?
Well, Jonathan has possession right now. Cambria has got to get all the way downfield. They cannot at this point afford to let the ball touch the ground. It's a giveaway, Jonathan. He has control. Keeping it in the air, but it will fall. And so does the guillotine as North Catholic able to take a 4-0 sweep in the grand finals to secure first place against Cambria Team 2. And man, through the semis and in this series, I mean, North Catholic just looked absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, it's been extremely impressive to see what they were able to put out here, Sleegy. And I'm going to be honest, I'm bittersweet about everything, because while we did have my correct prediction go through, I wanted more content. I wanted more games. I feel so bad. It's deflating for Cambria, not able to get a single win on this North Catholic squad, but quite the accomplishment when you think in the top 4 in the state of Pennsylvania, Cambria, 2 teams that were able to show themselves superior to so many other schools within the state.
Yeah, and you know, let's take another look at that bracket presented by Sheets, and you can see that North Catholic didn't drop a game at all in the playoffs. 4-0 against Penn Trafford, 4-0 against Cambria, and then 4-0 against Cambria 2 to just completely have a perfect run in the playoffs, and they secure that first place. And again, just an absolutely phenomenal run for them.
take a look at the highlights here, brought to you by Pennsylvania College of Technology. We say highlights, but really it's just a montage for Messi and Jonathan, who were a large driving force, not to discount at 1 second at all. Great third person in the rotation, but you could liken what Jonathan and Messi were doing to almost the days of Tronovi and Sad Jr. back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was just a stout performance from North Catholic. And again, they're going to be getting that $1,400 first place prize. And in second, still not a bad penny for Penn Cambria, $600 plus. We got HyperX peripherals and ViewSonic gaming monitors, so not a bad cut at all. But I mean, what a grand final, what a run for North Catholic. And I mean, just overall an excellent series and an excellent day for them. We're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up here for the Rocket League PIEA 2021 State Championships.
Tomorrow makers. They define success. They innovate their industries with technical know-how and vision, and stories only they can tell. Pennsylvania College of Technology is committing $1.25 million in existing scholarships and $250,000 in new scholarships for fall starts. This is your time. Share your story and kickstart your journey. Learn more and apply at pct.edu/2021.
College can make you look good on paper. At Penn College, we're more into looking good on steel and looking good on x-rays, with looking good in code, building and rebuilding, vision and revisions. And when it's all said and done, you'll look good to everyone. Because the past might be written on paper, but the future will be made by hand. Learn more at pct.edu.
The 2021 PIEA State Championships have been brought to you by Sheets. Order like a pro on the Sheets app. Sheets. Run and done. Pennsylvania College of Technology, where the future is made by hand. Learn more at pct.edu.
ViewSonic Elite Gaming Monitors. Don't just play, play to win.
And by HyperX. We're all gamers.
And welcome back, everybody, to the wrap-up of the 2021 PIEA State Championships for Rocket League. We just got off a 4-0 victory for North Catholic High School, the PIEA Rocket League champions in Kindo. I mean, did you have any more thoughts about this series or this team before we sort of wrap things up here today?
It's amazing to see the potential in young people. And I think about what PIEA stands for. This is what it really is all about. Yes, there is one team with a brilliant victory at the end of it, going home with a bulk of the scholarship money. But the development of young people through esports, through Rocket League in this specific instance is on display today. And you have a team in North Catholic that has brilliant futures ahead of it, a school in Penn Cambria that have shown themselves to be a melting pot and an absolute wonderful opportunity for young people to perform in this game at an extremely high level, all while getting their education and continuing to grow themselves for the adult world. Sleeky, I am so excited that we have gotten to be a part of it, that all these sponsors have been able to be a part of it. It's an amazing thing to think that esports is becoming normal.
I mean, I don't even think becoming is the word anymore. I think the normalcy is here, and it's through the excellent efforts of organizations like the PIEA that continue to help develop and grow it into what it will continue to grow into. But that is going to be it for us here today for the Rocket League PIEA National, or the Rocket League PIEA State Champions, I should say. But don't think that this is all the PIEA has to offer, though. The Overwatch semifinals and finals will be on air tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want more PIEA esport action, be sure to tune back in here again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for the Overwatch semis leading into the finals. But that's going to do it for us here today. One final congratulations to North Catholic High School, your Rocket League champions. My name is Vince Leakey. With me has been the fabulous Kendo, and thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Have a great rest of your day.